I'm with my friend Nurana.
Yes.
Oh,
Good evening. Hello.
hello. Hi, Nurana. Just let me set up the things which is going on over here. The perfect. Perfect. Yes, we are live on YouTube now. Perfect. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. And this is gonna be great today. So it's 21st July and it's Sunday. It's wonderful day over here. And I have my friend Norena from Azerbaijan. And it's a
No.
very long awaited meetup which we were planning out.
Yes.
And finally today, Norena, we got a chance and we're gonna do this meetup. It's been most awaited, like almost 20 Excel tips and tricks
Yes.
which you are going to show to us, right? So just before I start my meetup, I'll just quickly like to share my screen and show you something. Just 1 minute. It's over here. I'm sharing it. Perfect. So this is, oh, this is Zoom is always sometimes things are going on. So, okay, fine. So this is welcome to Saudi Arabia Microsoft Excel Power Platform Meetup. And today we have Noren from Azerbaijan. And as you know, always we run meetups over here on Saudi Arabia platform. I invite speakers from all over the globe, and it's my honor to have today Noren over here. And Noren is quite contributing for Excel Exciting also and for the Saudi Arabia meetup. It's the second time she's coming, and this year I have a theme which is called Women in Tech. So you will see this whole year, you will be seeing all the great women who are there in the tech will be coming and presenting on Saudi Arabia Excellent Power Platform Meetup. So today I'm very happy. There are two good news. One is that I have been awarded again as Microsoft MVP for this year.
I was going to mention that. Yes.
Uh,
Congratulations.
Thank you, Nore. So it's a great honor, and I thank you, everyone. Everyone who is involved. Always been encouraging me, motivating me, my friends. Everyone, because without your support and community support, this wouldn't be possible. And thank you, Microsoft, and everyone. Another thing is that our meetup have reached around 2,200 members. So the numbers are growing. This is really lovely. And we are becoming big. The community is getting bigger and bigger every day. So this is great two announcement which I wanted to do. And one more thing is that I would like to mention that we are having now meetups which we are doing it in person also. So you can go and check on the meetup and you can definitely go and check the link and you can enroll it over there. So today, Nuran Meetup, which we have top 20 not discovered tips in Microsoft Excel. So I would leave the floor definitely for Nuran, so she can tell us what are those top 20 missing. Maybe she will end up with some more numbers, and let us see that who knows that, who doesn't know that. So feel free to write it in the chat, and also write me in the chat from where you are joining. On especially on the YouTube and on the Zoom link. Please mention it from where you're joining. So it would be really lovely to know from where we are connecting around the globe. So I'll leave the floor now for Noran so she can take the stage, and Noran, the stage is
Yeah.
yours.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, dear Faraz. Can I share my screen, by the way?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. So I'm just sharing it. Uh, Thank you again. Thank you for the invitation. So it's really very great delight to have participate here, and I congratulate you on receiving MVP award. You are doing really great things, Faraz. And yes, this was our scheduled actually meetup, and the topic is top 20 not discovered tips in Excel, and I will try to cover all these topics within 90 minutes or so. And I would like to give a very brief information about myself. So I'm Microsoft certified trainer. I'm an Excel instructor, and I am MOS Master with the exams already taken. Word expert, PowerPoint expert, Outlook expert, and my favorite Excel. And I'm also the founder of the online consulting center ExceLand, and we're posting some YouTube videos, conducting corporate trainings, some seminars, webinars, and etc. And also, I'm officially employed to one of the leading hospitality company in Azerbaijan, Absharon Hotel, and as a group financial reporting and ERP manager. This somehow close to my work that I'm doing as a data analysis and etc. So today's topic is, you can see it here, but we'll go into deep by switching into Excel. And let me open that file, and I think that it will be very interesting comments for all of you. Okay, this is my Excel actually. Okay, is it seen? Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
This is Excel file, and let's start from the tip 1. The tip 1 is actually new comment. It's called analyze data. Where it's under home ribbon, you see at the right part of it, analyze data. What does it? It is just it takes your data and it takes your table, and when you click on that analyze data, it's opening a new pane on the right, and depending on the nature of your table, it's just giving you some hints and analyzing your data. It gives you what you can do, what kind of analysis you can do here. So it gives you kind of preset charts, preset pivot tables, and etc. And just by going and clicking one of them, you can very easily insert or use pivot table or kind of these kind of things. So it purely depends on the data. So it analyzes your data very quickly. If these kind of charts or tables, so if you don't need them, you can ask a question here. Let me say, for example, I want to know the price per country, this kind of thing. And I go here, price per country, and here is our answer. So it's basically online tool, and you need to sign in and have the good internet connection in order to have it. Okay, let me say price by country, and Excel just prompts me this kind of tool. This very new and somehow friendly, user-friendly tool for all of us. Analyze data under home ribbon here. Oh, okay. And the second tip is very hidden comment, what it does for us. Maybe you have heard about the term hidden. So for example, I want to hide any of the sheets. Let me say, so I want to hide this tip 2 sheet, and I right click the mouse and I go to hide, yes? So it's already visually hidden from the file, but I can go again and unhide it, okay? What about I don't want to unhide it? I want to share my file, and I just share it with my colleagues, with any external user, and I don't want any of them to see that sheet inside the file, but I don't want to delete it as well. So here comes to handy very hidden comment. Here you need very basic, visual basic knowledge. So what does it? So when you go to here, I go to developer, you need to activate developer ribbon. on your tab. So how can you activate this developer? And just press any open space here, go to customize the ribbon tab, go to developer on the right, and just check mark it and press OK. The developer tab will be visible on your ribbon. So you go to developer tab, you go to properties window, you see here properties, and here you see the properties of the active sheet. So here, this is my active sheet. And on the underneath, on the very, so below here, you see, so I will extend it. You see three options. That's when my sheet is visible, when my sheet is hidden, this is normal. So when I hide it, and let me just properties, and you press very hidden. So with very hidden, okay. So tip 2, the sheet tip 2 already gone. But when you press on hide, you can see it here as well. So it is really hidden, and only a person, a user that is really good at Excel or knows Visual Basic can go and open Visual Basic here, Visual Basic Studio, can go to tip 2, properties here, view properties window, and then again activate it as visible. Okay, so this is a bit professional approach, and it will be very useful if you're dealing with really confidential information or kind of very such kind of information data. This very hidden tool. I think that it is not. I'm not going too fast. And if you have any questions, so you can write on the chat. I'll be very happy to answer. We have 18 tips on the way. The third tip is really very strong tip in Excel camera tool. So again, Excel camera tool is not visible on the standard ribbon, but if you want to activate it, you have to go again to customize the ribbon. You go, let's say we want to have it on our quick access toolbar at the top. So I go to quick access toolbar. I select all commands, and here, so on the list here, I just press C and let me check camera. This one. I want to add it to quick access toolbar. Let's press OK. Let me press OK. And now you will see that it appears here. So this is camera tool. What a camera tool does, so it's very useful while you create new Excel dashboards, while you working with very large data sets, and etc. Let me say I have dashboard here on another sheet, and I just want this pivot table, there are two of them, pivot tables, to be seen on the dashboard sheet. So I go and select them, Control C to copy them, and I go to dashboard and press that camera tool and take a picture of those. Let me again. Okay, it's here. So what does it? So it's like the reflection, it's just a mirror of your data, and it works very dynamically. For example, if I go and change any data here, because this is income, for example, let me change it to 100,000, and let me refresh pivot table, refresh. Okay, you see that the figure has already been changed. And I go to my dashboard and I see that it's automatically reflected here as well. So this is the camera tool, and you can put it anywhere in another workbook in another worksheet, because it will always refer to the sheet and to the range you have already selected. You can see it on the formula bar here, okay? So this is the Excel camera tool. The fourth tip is, yes, this is really very handy tool. The fourth tip is multiple copy. How can we manage multiple copies? So what I mean with this, let's say I have copied this figure, then I go and copied Peter, and then when I go and copy operations, all right? Three things are already copied, and in the clipboard, Excel stores this data for me. So how can I go and take the first one? Let's say this one. I already copied it. So you can go by clicking one of those shortcuts, Windows key and V. So let me activate it. I press Windows key on the keyboard and V, and it opens this dialog box. You see clipboard here, and you see all the copy history here. You see, these are what I have already copied. So I copied this one, I copied Peter, I copied operations. Now from this history, you can select any of them, okay, and you have it. So you can go either by clicking Windows and V button, or Windows and two dots here. So it will open this emoji screen for us, but the last tab of it is the same. This is the clipboard history. So actually, they are the same window, just pressing the other tab, switching from one tab and another tab. And this allows us to multiple copy the data, okay? Yes. And let's go to tip 5. What does tip 5 does? Okay, this is my favorite and mainly very challenging part in most exams, custom format. So we know that the Excel has several preset formats, and you can go to this option, to this command on the home tab. Yeah, on the home tab here, you have kind of very, very different number formats, data formats. One of them is custom, where you can customize your data by just entering key symbols. What are these key symbols? One of them is 0, so mainly one of them is 0, and one of them is hash sign. So let me say I have this kind of information here, and I want to just change the data, change the figures. So I don't want to speak very much about custom format. It's very really it's very big topic. But you can what you can do with custom format by entering 3 semicolons. I mean semicolons here on the custom format. You can visually hide your data. Let me say I don't want to see the second year, 2006, the figures here. I want to hide it, but not delete the figures, just hide it. I select my range, I go to format numbers, format cells button by pressing Control and 1. Okay, it takes me to the format cell dialog box. I go to custom and I input 3 semicolons here. While I inputting, I see that sample here. It doesn't show me anything. So when I press OK, you see that all the data actually hidden, visually hidden, but it's not deleted because when I go and look at the formula bar, the figure is already there. So it's not removed, just hidden. Another awesome functionality of custom format is actually doing the same thing as if function. So you just give him an instruction condition, and based on that condition, custom format gives you some formatting. Let me say, I have here data, figures, and for all the figures below, let's say 3 million, I want the figures to be in blue. For all the figures below 6 million, I want figures to be in red. For others, let's be black color, right? 3 colors. How can I do that? Of course, we have conditional formatting for this, but as an alternative, you can use custom format as well. You select your range, press Control and 1, go to custom format, and input that kind of information here. We use these brackets, okay, straight brackets, and I say that less than 3 million, okay, and I close the brackets. I say that in case it's less than 3 million, let it be blue color. Okay, the color code is always written in these brackets, straight brackets. I put semicolon to go to my next condition and open brackets. And here I put my another condition, less than 6 million, close the brackets. And I again open that brackets and say, okay, let it be in red. Again, semicolon for all the rest of the information, let it be black. Okay. And I close it. Okay. Press OK. So you see that. You see the result. So these two figures have been in blue because they are less than 3 million, and between 3 and 6 million, the figures are in red. For the others, they are in black. If I change the figure here, for example, not 5 million, but 1 million, it will automatically be in blue, right? This is one of the features of custom format. Okay. So it has very many, a lot of other possibilities as well. So you can go and just see that. The sixth tip actually relates to data types. I want to speak about the geography type here. So I have country names, and in data ribbon under here, you have data types. And when I expand these, I see geography. Of course, it has stocks and currency type, but I will use geography here. What it does? So I have my country names, and based on this information, I would like another additional information about those countries: population, currency code, its capital, and etc. So one of the easiest way that Excel allows us to do is just to select these, go to data types, and geography, and it automatically converts these kind of text information into geographical information, and it's connected to the internet to get the latest updates. So it has this kind of symbols next to the text. When I expand it, you can see all the information, relevant information about that country. So the Arabia, its population, its area, and etc., its currency code, and etc. But when I go here, so let me say I want to just get any information. When I select it, you see plus sign here on the right, add to insert the data here, and I want to select any information from here. Let me take example population. By the way, they are in alphabetical order. You can sort it very quickly. Let me population. Okay, it's here. I take population, and you see that this is the latest population that each country has, and how it works. So in each cell, it creates kind of formula. So equals signs and equals one and dot population. Okay. Again, I select it and press plus sign, and I go with, let me say, urban population. Okay, I take my urban population, and I see that on the next column, I have this kind of information, etc. You see that urban population again, and the formula bar is structured this way. If you have just one word, let me example population, it's written very standard way. But if you have two words, and if there are any space between these two words, they are covered with, they are surrounded by these straight brackets. Okay, so this is the structure that we have. What you can do, you can again convert these data types into simple text. Just press right hand, you just mouse click and go to data type and select convert to text. If you convert to text, this will be very simple text, and all the formulas will be gone. Okay, you don't have this kind of information, that's why. So it will return us an error. Okay, this is a bit of a new command here, geography, but you can use it for this kind of analytical information as well. Okay, we have seventh tip here. This is copy from status bar. Maybe you know the status bar is underneath of each sheet. Yeah, it gives us statistical information only. Let me say, when I select any column, any information here, I see statistical information about that range. So here we have only one statistical information. You see count 9 at the bottom. So it means that there are only 9 rows on the selected area. But when I go and select salary, this range, you will see several statistical information already, not just one, because these are figures. It will return an average. It will return the count, the 10 rows, minimum, maximum, and sum of those figures. So these are statistics. And for a quick view, instead of using formulas or any dynamic functions and etc., you just can copy from status bar. For example, I want to know the salary, the total salary for it. I select the whole column. I go here, sum. You see at the top, my mouse here, and I press once here, and I go to any cell and press Control and V to paste the data to my data here. You just copy from the status bar for the quickest way. Okay. Or I select department, and there are 22. Just press once on that and go here and Control V. So I see the result here. Okay, you can easily take any information from the status bar. Okay. Tip number 8. There are 2 of them. I would like to give you information about pay special and 2 interesting functions of pay special. One is multiply and divide options with the help of pay special. And one is skip blanks. What does it do? So let's say we have amounts in the column, but they are in negative. So they're shown with negative sign. And I want to have them in positive figures. There are actually very different methods to do so. Example, one of them is to use the ABS formula, which stands for absolute and returns us the absolute form of the number of the figure. Example, I take this absolute, okay, and I double click to repeat the formula down. This is one of the ways. The another way is just multiply it to, let's say, 0, 1 to get the result. Again, double click and go down. And the third way is you can write 0, 1, no, not 0, I'm sorry, negative sign. So -1 to any cell, yeah? You go and copy that cell, Control C, and then you go to your range with those negative numbers, but don't press Control V. Press Control Alt V or Alt ES. There are two shortcuts for the paste special command, and then go to multiply. So it will multiply -1 to each of those cells. Press OK. You see that, so -1 is multiplied to each of them. Okay, the format is gone, but you have the right number, and one of the things that they are stored as values, not as formula, but as values. The opposite way is to divide. I will go back. Okay, is to divide. Let's say I want to divide. I want the half part of all those numbers. So I go and input 2 to any cell. I copy it. Then I select my range. Activate paste special by pressing Control Alt and V. And just press divide option. Okay. All my figures are divided into 2 and are stored as values. So this is the how to multiply and divide in one go. Okay. And what skip blanks do under paste special commands? Here we'll use this table. Let's assume that we have some HR data. Here's my department, and we have updated the names of some departments. Example, instead of this, I will use INR, and instead of information and technologies, I will use IT, but not all of them, only these 2 departments. How can I replace them? Of course, I can press Control H, I can go put an old name, the new name, and replace all, and etc. Or if you have this very kind of information, just copy it, Control C, and again, select your range, Control Alt and V, and here, go to skip blanks. It will skip all the blanks and keep only the new values and will paste new values. Okay, I will go to OK, and you see that so only those have been replaced, but blanks stay the same. Another sample is that, okay, I have here salaries. Let me rename it to salary. And only certain employees have been promoted and got new salary. Now I want to update these data here. How can I do that? I will copy this range again. I will go to my salary column. Again, we'll go to paste special, Control Alt and V, and here skip blanks. And OK. And you'll see that only these parts have been changed. Only these salaries have been replaced. Okay. Good. Okay. This is tip number 8. And now let's go to tip 9. This very specific one. And it's actually not related to Excel, actually. But I will show you the way how to create multiple folders. So for this reason, so let's start from the scratch. Let's assume that we want to create a new folders, and I want to name them with the names of month names. Let me assume that we need to create 6 folders. January, February, March, April, May, June. We should have 6 folders. What I do, I type month names here and I put MD next to each of them. Okay, I have this information in Excel. Then I go to the folder or to the desktop, so any way we want. Just create a new text file, new and text document here. It doesn't matter how you call it because we won't need that. That's why I go and double click it to open. I open the text document here. I just copy this information from here with the names of my folders and paste. And at the end, I write pause. Okay, this text. And let's save that file, text file, but save it as not text file, but as bat. Okay, this is bat file. And let's save it. Okay, I will close it. Let's go to that folder with the bat file. All you need to do is just double click it. By double clicking, it will actually activate your batch file. We will double click it and it will open this kind of info. And let's close it. And you'll have 6 folders created simultaneously at the same time. Okay. This is how you create folders. 6 folders in one go. Yeah. Yeah. Really, this really very good information, I think. Yes. And then I have tip number 10, navigation pane. And it's very easy, but very friendly, I think. The navigation pane is located under View tab here. View. You see navigation. What it does is really very good. So this navigation actually navigates you from one sheet to another, from one defined names to another, from one table, structure table, to another structure table within the Excel. If we're speaking about this tab, example, you have, let's assume that we have an Excel document with 100 sheets inside it. Now, when I go to the first sheet, I have to press Control page down or Control page up every time to switch between those sheets. Or alternatively, I can go to the bottom left side and press the right mouse click, yes, and switch between those sheets. Okay, you see, you can do it from here as well. And another option is to activate navigation pane here. And here you see the names of my sheets. Let me see, I want to go to dashboard sheet and it will take me to that, or to tip 2. It will take me to that sheet. But another privilege, advantage of the using of navigation pane is that inside the sheets, it will show you the used areas as well. For example, under tip 3, so tip 3 is here, you see this. The tip 3 sheet, we have tables from B2 to B4. So you see, these are already used cells. There are some information here. Or here we have a range from B6 to F18. So when I go here, it will take me to the table or to the first pivot table or the second pivot table, you see? So as the name suggests, navigation pane will take me to any used information, used cell within my Excel document, okay? It can be any object, it can be any picture, dashboard, chart, any defined names, and etc. All right. For example, here we have names, and they are visualized as this, or charts are shown as this symbol, and etc. Okay. So this is the navigation pane. Just press X button, and it will show close here. Tip number 11. So we have already spoken about it, name manager, and I mentioned defined names, and let's speak a bit about it. So what does defined names do? It eases our daily work process, our calculations. For example, so here in the table, I want to calculate the total price for each row. It's very simple. I just put equal sign and I take quantity multiplied by unit price, right? To get the total price. And I double click to go the formula down. But when I go here to the formula bar or edit the cell, I see that, okay, E2 multiplied by F2. And again, if I go and want to find the whole sum of the column, I put this one, sum G2 G15. It's not actually user-friendly because when I go and see, okay, what is E2 and F2 stand for? Instead, you can use defined names. How can we name cells or even multiple cells ranges? There are several ways. One of the easiest ways is just to select your range, example, unit price, and go to address bar, so this address bar, and type your name. But be careful, while you name your range, don't put any space because it won't allow it to use any space. You see, when I go and so type it as unit price, it won't allow me because there are space between two words. Instead, you can use unit and price or underscore. This is underscore. So this is my unit price. And I go and define a new range for the quantity. I select my range, and on the address bar, I just type quantity. Okay, this is my quantity, and press enter. Now I have it. And now if I want to calculate, I just press unit price. Yeah, you see unit price. It's just like formula. So when you type formula and it gives you hints and it's appear here, unit price. And when you activate it, it is selected all the columns that we have and multiplied by quantity. It's very good and it's very readable when you read, okay, this unit price multiplied by quantity, and you have the same result as here. But one thing, when you create, so by using defined names, you don't have any possibility to delete any data in the middle. You see, for example, I want this to be removed, but I can't remove it. I can delete it. I can even edit it because it's only to depend on the first cell that I have typed. This is it's working like array logic. So this is array-based functionality of the defined names. And to see the whole list of defined names in Excel, just go to Formula ribbon, go to Name Manager, and you will see all the named ranges already created, the names and to values and the cells that are dependent. To edit them, any of them, just go select one of them, edit. Okay, you can change the cells, the range, you can change the name and save it. Okay. One of the really mostly wide used one is to refer to the exact rate. For example, for the Turkish lira, yeah, I put this one. Okay, this is the currency rate when I convert Turkish lira from Azerbaijani manat to lira. And I want prices to be shown in manats, let's say. Assume that these are all lira. Yes? Let me change it to number to remove dollar signs. And how can I use that currency rate? So for the basic way, a standard Excel user would do this way. Choose this cell and multiply it this one, J8, and we will just, okay, press F4 button to make it constant. And then drag it down to repeat the formula. But instead of this, I can use Name Manager. I can name only this cell. To example, lira, enter, and we'll conduct my calculation this way. This one multiplied by TRL, lira, Turkish lira. Okay, and enter. Okay, we have it. We have. Every time it will refer to that cell. And every time when I change this cell, the value inside it, okay, it will automatically change. But at least it will be very readable to understand what it does, what the calculation does. All right, so tip number, let's go to tip number 13. This mail about check marks, how to insert check marks. There are actually 6 ways to insert check marks, but if you know even more ways, so you can put on the chat. So one of them is using keyboard shortcuts. Example, these are the Shift P and Shift O to use check marks. But the main thing is to have the font as Wingdings 2. Example, I press Shift P, yeah, here on the cell, and Shift O, and then I select and go to, yes, exactly, emoji. And I go to Wingdings 2 font, it will automatically change to those check marks. This is one of the ways. Another way is using the formulas. So I will go to this here, and you can see the formulas. This is the char formula, means character, and it gives you the, these are the codes, ASCII codes actually. So based on those ASCII codes, it will return to you they are corresponding character. Example, I put char and this one, right? And then I will type these ones quickly, and here and here. These are character formula. So the result will show this, but if you change the font to Wingding, okay, they will automatically be shown as check marks. All right. Example, one of the examples. So here's my table. I want to analyze my sales amount. So if they are greater than 500, so I want to put this one, check mark, done. But if not, I want the X mark, okay? How can I do with using the check mark, so symbols? The simple if function, if this one greater than 500, then let's put that character, okay? I type that formula, this one. If not, if it is less than 500, let it be X 251. Yes. Let me close it. Let me drag the formula down. And let's change the font to Wingding again. Okay. Here I have these check marks. Okay. One of the methods to insert the check mark is using the symbol from the insert ribbon. You have here a symbol. So you need to select Segoe UI symbol from the font section. And after this, you go and take dingbats as a subset here. And you will have all the list for several windows, several symbols, and you take any of those check mark buttons, okay? This one. All right. And tip number 14, this is convert function. Convert function, as the name suggests, is converting one measure to another measure. And I will go with the dates. Example, we have the date joined for the employees, and I have this today function here. And if we want to calculate how many days between today and the date joined, I can perform very quick calculation, just subtracting today from date joined, right? It will give me a return with, okay, I didn't, let me, okay, make it constant, this one, okay. These are the days in units in days, right? These are days. But what if I want to have them in years? There are some methods as using date function, and one of them is convert function. So I take convert function. So I take number from here, and I want to convert this number from day to year. And when I go to the second argument here, it gives me units of measure. So you can find day here. You see here, day. And I say that, okay, convert this number from day to year, okay? And it will give me this answer, 5 years approximately. These are years. And let's go to home and, okay, decrease the number of zeros. So these are the experience in years, okay, by using the convert function here. All right. Tip number 15. This is how to create dynamic drop-down list. What I mean by saying dynamic drop-down list, example, we have the list here, list of departments, and I want to have them as a list, but dynamically, because I can have some other departments in the future. Example, I have here the list, you see, and it's ending at security. But when I have another department here, like engineering, I add a new one and I go to my list and I see that engineering here already appeared. How did I create it? So it's dynamically. So you go to data ribbon, go to data validation to create the list. I say allow list. And here as a source, I will use an offset function. And as an offset function, I say that, okay, take the first cell from the list. So this is my first list of first cell. And go 0 and 0. This is the row and columns. And to have it dynamic, I will use the count A function. And as a count A function, I want to count the whole C column. Okay. I close the count A function and put the last argument as 1. All right. The tip is in the count A function because it will make it dynamically. So I put OK, and you have here the drop-down list. Let me change it. All right. And I have all the list here. So HR and finance and etc. So when I go and type a new name, let's say sales and marketing, and I see that a new one has already appeared here. Okay. This is dynamic drop-down list by using an offset function. Another tip, tip 9, number 16, is also relate to drop-down list, but it's dependent drop-down list. Example, we have 2 lists depending on each other. So how can we create them? The scenario is like this. We have food categories. We have foods like pizza, pancakes, and Chinese food. And for each category, we have several samples. For pizzas, we have these options. For pancakes, we have these 2 options. And for the Chinese food, we have these. And for my first data drop-down list, I want to select food from the list. And based on that food, I want to have the food type, okay, dependent on each other. How can I do that? For this, I need that defined names that we have previously spoken about. So I will name my food. First, I select the range and I create a new name for that. I will rename it as food. The second, I take these food options under pizzas. So I go and rename it as pizza. For pancakes, I create a new name as pancakes. And for Chinese, I create a new name as Chinese. Pay attention to have the exact names as in your categories. For example, if you have pancakes, and here you should name it as pancakes with S. So we have already created these named ranges. You can see from the list. We go to favorite food and create a new data validation list. As a source, I press F3 button to see my named ranges and I select food, right? This is food and okay. Under food, I can see my main foods, pizza, pancakes, and Chinese. And now the second part is to have the dependent list. Example, I select pizza and I will have a new list. When I select pancakes, I want to have a new list. How can we create this dependent list? To have it, I go again to data validation here, select list, and here as a source, I type an indirect function. In Excel, we have this volatile function called indirect. It is indirectly refers to another cell. So indirect, and here I say, go and take name from G3, from this cell, and okay. And let's see what happens. So I take pizza, and it has only pizzas, right? When I select pancakes, on the second list, we have only pancakes category. And when I select Chinese, it has dependent and only Chinese names. Okay, so these are how we create dependent drop-down lists. Tip 19, I'm sorry, 17. This is dsum function. These functions are very similar, so it has some other dcount, daverage, and dsum forms as well. And all of them so just mean the same thing. D means database function. So how they work? Example, I have this table, and it's actually so assumed as database. And based on that table and on the criteria here, I can have the sum of example, this column. So I will show you how it works. Let me explain. I have tables and I have headers here, right? And I have this criteria. So only for master degrees, I want to have the total income number. How can I find it? Of course, you can say that we will use SUMIF function, but one alternative is to use dsum function. So I say dsum. So it has 3 arguments within it. One of them is database. So as a database, I take all my table, including headers. Okay. Then as a field, I want the result. And as a result, the result column is income. That's why I type income as a text in quotation marks. And what's my criteria? These are my criteria. So as a criteria, I absolutely should take the header and the criteria under it. Okay, education and master. Then I press enter and it gives me this way. And if I go and filter masters from the list, and if I go and see the income, the sum, I see that, okay, the sum is 360,000. The number is correct. So it's just actually doing the work of SUMIF function, but it actually can replace the SUMIF function with multiple criteria as well. Example, we have 2 conditions here, year birth and education. So let's see how it works. dsum. Again, I take my table as database. Here, the field will be income because there is only one column where we can sum up the figures. And as a criteria, I take all of them. These are all my criteria, including headers. Okay, and I have this figure. Okay, we can of course check the accuracy of the number and it's correct. All right, and this sum function allows greater and less signs inside the arguments. The sum function allows to use wildcards. So wildcards, it means star sign and this sign. Okay, example, when I say that, okay, give me year birth greater than 980 and marital status beginning with S, because we have 2 S here, separated and single, give me the sum of all these. So I can use easily the sum function and take the table. this one. And I say that, okay, give me the total of income column based on those criteria, all right? And it will return me the correct figure. All right. Tip number 18, and a very quick one, how to rename a worksheet. Okay, how can we rename it? There are two ways. You know, one way is just to double click on the sheet name. Okay, you can go and just change it. Another way is to right mouse click and here press on rename. And another way is just to use shortcuts, Control O and HR. So I press Control or HR, so it's automatically activated. You see the sheet name, and I can rename it, right? But how can I delete a worksheet? Control EL. These are the shortcuts. Control EL, and it will just give me a warning that, so it will ask me if I want to delete or not. So these are the shortcuts. The last two tips. Tip number 19. Strike through. What is strike through? Okay, so the shortcut for it is Control 5. Yeah. Okay, I want to strike through the text. Just select the cell and press Control 5. Okay, and you have this cell. You have this text, Control 5. Even you can select any word inside the cell and press Control 5. It will only just strike through one word. All right, this one. So even you can use strike through option while you're creating your task list by using the conditional formatting. Example, I have task list here, and I want to, whenever I go to status and put anything, let me say okay or done, anything, I want to have it strike through. So how can I do that? For this, we need to select our range, go to conditional formatting, new rule, and create a new rule using formula. So here I have a formula. I say that, okay, if here status, so let me remove the $sign from the row. Okay, if this not equal blank, okay, it's not equal. So it says that if I have anything, if I typed anything here, then let's format it as I go to here and let's format this strike through and let's change the color to a bit gray. Okay, let a bit gray and okay. Okay, take it. So now it's all right, standard. But when I go and change the status to done, it's just right through the text or okay or in progress or anything, and it will automatically so strike through your text, right? And the last tip is 20, open Excel files in one go. How can you open your Excel files? Multiple Excel files in one go. Before doing this, so let me go to the folder again. Let's say that we have one folder. I have named it as My Meetup. And there are 3 reports that I frequently use. And every time I don't want to press one by one, but I want all of them, 3 of them to have it open. So you can select all of them and just press enter button. So it will open 3 of them. Another way is go to Excel options from file, from options, advanced, and go right to the bottom. And here on the general, you have it at startup, open all files. You have to type the folder directory, folder path here. So I take here, I go here. So from the address bar, I go and copy it. I copy, go to my Excel and paste it into here. Okay, and press OK. Now let's close my Excel and okay, let's open. Let's try to open any of them. Okay. So what did it do? When I go to View button and switch windows, I see that all of them, 3 of them, is already open. So I can switch here, or I can go and switch to the second, and etc. Okay. So all of them automatically opens every time I open an Excel application. Okay. This is one of the way. Here. So these are the main Excel Excel tips that I think that I found it useful and would like to share with you. And I think that the session was interesting for you and useful at the same time. If you have any questions, any comments, thank you very much.
There's already comment by Samir in the chat box. Thank you very much, Nurain. I really appreciate.
Thank you.
And skip blank when you copy conditional formatting, grading files extension. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Faraz, again for the invitation. Yeah, I'm really delighted to have. Yes, I think that I'm done. Okay.
Great, Nurain. It was really a great session, lovely session, we had. And in fact, I learned something today. I'll be very honest, I've never even gone through that, so
I specifically chosen this topic because it is so it's really different topics and different tips, and I thought that it will be interesting for all of us.
yeah. So it was really new for me as well.
Thank you, Faraz.
So my friends, as usual, I'll be signing out from the YouTube.
Okay.
And I'll be still back on the Zoom. So please, my friends on the Zoom, please stay back because the party is still not over. But we will be ending the party on the YouTube. And I'll be coming up in my next meetup, which will be soon. We're going to be announced on the meetup page. So make sure that you're connected on the meetup page. And if you have any Excel questions, anything, please feel free to write it down. And also, please mention in the LinkedIn, the group. If you have any questions, we are there. We will be very happy to help you out and answer your questions. So as usual, whenever I end my session, I ask the speaker, any last words, and then, we just drop from the YouTube. So please feel free to say any last words, anything you would like to say, any motivational line or anything, Nurain, what do you want to say to all our viewers and all the audience and to the community, anything, what you'd like to say, please feel free to say that.
Thank you again, Farad. This is really great platform. And myself learned very awesome things from you, from all of you. And myself, I'm trying to do something, maybe a little, but something for the community as well, for the people. And I just try to share my knowledge, and it really gives me happiness, a kind of, so some very good emotions. And thank you for this, thank you for the invitation again. And if you have any feedbacks, it really keeps us motivated. So we are really so need your feedbacks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noreen. And
Thank
we
you.
are signing out now from the YouTube. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.